My lawyer, Charlie Burkwit, we filed the complaint. We're going forward. We're going to be in federal court from now on. That we can get something done here. You know, I'm still part of Enough is Enough, and we're still trying to make some changes in our communities to make our communities a little bit better. I don't know what the police is going to do. Is they're going to start retraining these people or what? I don't know. But we're hoping that they will, you understand, because we need to be served a little bit better than what we have been. Basically, I'm just hanging on, and I support Enough is Enough, because Enough is Enough supporting me. And I love each and every one, and that's about all I can think of at this time. And I thank you very much for having me here today.
Basically, it's a civil rights complaint under Section 1983. And basically, he's seeking compensatory damages, you know, for past and future pain and suffering, medical expenses, things like that, loss of enjoyment of life. And also, as part of the case, we alleged an excessive force count and an illegal seizure count, meaning that they illegally seized his person and that they used excessive force on him. So in addition to the compensatory damages, Mr. Warr is also seeking punitive damages against the individual officers that are named in the complaint. And then also he's asking for declaratory judgment from the court, declaring that the policies and practices of Operation Cool Down and or clearing the block and or clearing the street violated Mr. Warr's constitutional rights to be free from the use of excessive force and to be free from, you know, illegal stops, searches, seizures. But also, we're also asking for injunctive relief from the court, granting an injunction prohibiting the City of Rochester and Chief Sheppard from engaging in this practice of Operation Cool Down, clearing the block, clearing the street, since those practices violate the constitutional rights of the citizens of the City of Rochester. So it not only is a case about Mr. Warr, it's also about seeking that relief to prevent this type of conduct from occurring again.
Yes, Benny's medical condition, he went to the doctor, the orthopedic doctor, on Wednesday, and we received a bit of bad news that at this time Benny has suffered so much pain since this tragic incident that the doctor had told him that in order for him to have any release that they would have to cut the stump off. And because of him being a diabetic and other elements, that it would be almost impossible for them to do that because of he wouldn't heal right. So almost to say that he would die if the operation was to be given. And so now we're dealing with, as we see, another situation for his being able to deal with the pain the rest of his life, not being able to do the things that he thought that he was going to do, because by no means did he expect to hear this news. And so now, you know, he has to take another approach of how he's going to be able to have to be sedated with pain pills the rest of his life. So here it is, another hurdle, another storm, another situation. But like, once again, we want to thank and ask God just to give us strength even in times of this here. And it has done a psychological, I don't know, it's gotten worse since the news, and just trying to keep him encouraged, inspiring, and
Sorry, baby.
Jesus, Jesus.
Hey.
Jesus, we feel you, Lord. Jesus.
That's all right, baby.
Asking, you know, to be even the more patient with him.
Well, at this point, the action was just started, so what's going to happen is the city and the individual officers will retain attorneys. They'll probably each have an attorney, and they'll submit an answer to the complaint. After that, we engage in written discovery, which is going to take some time. After that, we'll have depositions in the case where the parties give sworn testimony under oath. And then after that, we prepare the case for trial. So timeline, I can't tell you whether this case will be done in 9 months, a year and a half. It all depends on the complexity of the case, what comes forward, what happens, the judge's time schedule. So we're just going to proceed along. So of course, all of his medical records come into play, his injuries, everything will be evaluated as part of the case.
My only thing is that, you know, I support her. I feel her. When I look at her, I look at myself, and I'm just with her. I just know that, you know, she's a woman, young woman, man, and it's like, you know, I just think that was wrong. It was wrong for them to do what they did to her. And then, you know, she's carrying another life. You know, and it's not just her, but it's the other life inside of her too. You know, so, you know, they have my full support, and I love them all.
As a family member, as being my brother-in-law, it has affected us emotionally. To my daughter, this is her right-hand person.
Thank you, baby.
That's Uncle Benny. She cried. I cried with her. I cried with my sister because it's emotional. It has affected his person, his individual, as an individual of accomplishing things, you know, and to have that weigh on you in a conversation. You know, it's hard to just to take in. It's hard to just to say, no, my life is changing. You know what I mean? Because of force of the police department. You know, I'm not saying this. There's not good and bad all in the police department, but they have to scale out all the problems that you had. If this is the root of a problem that has occurred and we need change, then change must come, you know, and it starts from the head and works its way down. A police officer cannot be justified unless the head allow it to come through. And by this here, you can see what has happened. You know, an individual. Yes, we are a community. We stick together. There's no color in community. It's all as one. You know, and I see this, how I'm affected, and everybody around us right here today as we sit here and speak is affected by one person. And if we are that one change, then we need to change it, you know. But just as I say, I cry out because he's not able to do what he used to do as a man. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at his disability he had, but now you're crippling him even further as a man of all the things he is so used to doing, you know, having his leg, and he'll walk and he'll go play with the kids, and you know, he'll do that, play at the basketball, still with one leg, but when you cannot even put the leg on anymore, you know what I mean? That cripples him as even more as an individual. Sure, I'm affected. We all are affected. Even standing here, we are affected.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
We as Enough is Enough have had enough, not only of Benny Wars, but all the Benny Wars that we have in this community. Yeah. Enough is enough.
Yes.
You know, the police needs to be accountable, the mayor needs to be accountable, need to be accountable to the people. We are the people. We have had enough. Something needs to be done, and if it can be done through Benny Ward, that's fine, but they need to stop utilizing, stop coming in communities of color, using brute force, and justifying that, and having their chief stand up and defend them against us. You're supposed to protect us. Serve and protect, not beat up and abuse. and stop the quality of life that you've had. You know, you can't beat up pregnant women and think that that's enough. That's not enough. I don't care if you're the police, I don't care if you're the judge. Enough is enough. You need to stop utilizing the community that you're supposed to, been elected to, paid to serve.
For immigrants, activists, unions, and freelancers, DJs, MCs, plumbers, and break dancers, I'm with editors, engineers, indie media, I'm with my family, my crew, rebel DJs, I'm with DJ Disco, is a Latino pioneer, cause it's dope when the elders break bread with the kids.
I'm for telling the truth, exposing the lies, think about the dead soldiers when you drive and you ride, when people die for the all, and Daddy Bush's revenge. I'm with the widows, the children, and the lonely best friends. I'm for families, staying together as one. I'm not for the raids and the deportations. I'm with Victor Toro and the MIR. So watch out for them snitches in that unmarked car. And for Lil Saulito, we gon' fight for your moms. So we gon' shout her out twice in one song. I'm for 12 million workers and El Vida Arellano for a world without borders and a better tomorrow. South South Bronx, Oaxaca,